So you're practicing the piano, watching tutorials, and doing everything right, but you can't seem to make any progress on the piano and you still feel like a beginner. You can't sit there and just express yourself. Which is what you want, right? You want to be able to just sit at the piano and express yourself and have a kind of freedom on the piano. Now, it might be because you're doing two things wrong, and I'm going to be explaining them to you in this video because they are mistakes that I made for years and years at the beginning of my piano journey. And when I figured these two things out and kind of, practice the piano in a different way with a different approach, honestly, I unlocked so much freedom and creative potential on this instrument, and I made so much progress, and that's what I want for you, okay? So the first thing that you're probably doing is that you're learning songs, but not learning skills, okay? This is how I started on the piano. I learned the piano using the classical method, which is that you have to learn how to read sheet music. And when you want to learn a song, you have to download the sheet music for that song. And then you basically learn the song through that sheet music. Now, the problem with that is that the sheet music is kind of like the gatekeeper to the song. You can't just sit there in any random moment and just play the song. You have to learn it through the sheet music, and then you have to memorize it exactly as the sheet music tells you. Do you see the problem with this? I mean, it's definitely cool. Like, if you get a really good cover of the song and you want to learn it exactly like that, then definitely this is a great approach. But the problem with it is that you're left with only one way of playing your favorite song. Whereas you want to be able to sit at the piano in any moment and play your favorite song however you're feeling in the moment. Like, let's say you're feeling happy. Okay, let me give an example. So a song that I taught today was Mac Miller's Everybody, which kind of goes like this. Something like that. Okay, it was a bit rough. But the point here is that, let's say you come home from work one day and you're just tired and sad and you're like, you know what, I just want to play Mac Miller's Everybody. And so you sit there and you do something like this. All right, so that's really beautiful, right? Now, what if you're feeling really good, feeling really excited? You could do something like this. Okay, so the reason why I'm able to play it in a different way based on my mood is because I've spent the past 8 years practicing a skills-based approach to the piano rather than just learning songs and learning exactly one way to play a particular piece of music. I've been practicing the ingredients that actually compose songs, okay? And this was a massive unlock when I realized this. When you realize that actually most of music, kind of like contemporary jazzy music, is all constructed using the same fundamental ingredients. Now, I call these ingredients the basics, right? Now, there is, in my estimation, there are 5 main basics that if you practice these basics on a consistent basis, you're gonna unlock the ingredients that actually compose music so that you will be able to do this. Exactly what I did, you will be able to do that. You can just sit at the piano and express yourself freely. Now, this is a super effective way of learning and practicing the piano because it's an exponential way of learning the piano. It's exponential, where you learn one song and you actually learn the ingredients of that song and you kind of put them into your toolkit, let's say, so that the next song that you learn, you are going to be equipped with the tools that you gained from the previous song. And so these skills compound. And if you've seen any of my tutorials here on TuneQuest, here on Unlock the Keyboard, this is how I teach tunes, right? if you learn, for example, like this song here, this Everybody, it's used with the C major scale. Rather, it's in the key of C major. And so if you learn the key of C major, and here in this song, right, we start with a C major chord, and then we go to an E dominant chord, which is using this G sharp, which is not native to the C major scale. And so then you realize, oh, that's interesting. In the C major scale, I can start with a C, and then I can play an E dominant, and then I can play this A minor chord. Boom. That's epic, right? And so what that does is now you've acquired those skills. You've learned that, whoa, I can play the E dominant in a C major song. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, so what if I just play C major, G major, E dominant, A minor? Okay, so that's me kind of experimenting with these ideas. And so, do you see how that lends itself perfectly to creative expression? You can explore these skills in your own way. So, you're not just learning to play one song in one way, you're learning the ingredients of songs so that you can express that one song in a myriad of different ways based on how you're feeling. And you can use the ingredients of the songs that you learn to actually make your own music. So, you become the creative element. Now, this is actually more of a jazzy, contemporary approach to the piano. Okay, now the way to actually do this, the way to achieve this is, as I said earlier, to learn and practice the basics. Okay, now if you want a full system for this, I've literally created it. Check out the link below. It's literally a full system for unlocking the keyboard. That's why I've named this thing Unlock the Keyboard, because I want you to actually unlock it so that you can play freely in any way you want at any time. And you can use these skills to improvise and compose and produce your own music and do whatever you want, okay? You become the creative element. You become the composer of your own musical story rather than having sheet music tell you exactly how to play music, okay? Sheet music shouldn't be the gatekeeper to your own musical and creative freedom, right? Now, the second thing that you might be doing wrong is that you're learning through YouTube for free and you're not following one system. This is a massive mistake that I see a lot of beginners make. I've taught a lot of students online, and this is a very common theme that I see. They spent like years in some cases just learning through tutorials on YouTube, but making no progress. And the reason for this is because it's possible nowadays. You can literally learn on YouTube, and that's awesome. I definitely recommend it. Like, I learn through YouTube all the time. But when you're exclusively learning the piano through YouTube tutorials, what can happen is you're learning from this person and that person and that person, and you're not following one system and one map, right? And so you can get lost because there's so much to learn and you don't really know which direction to go, what to practice, what to actually spend your time focusing on. And so you can get completely lost. And the other thing as well is that if you're learning for free, you're not spending any money. You're not actually investing in yourself and in your own growth. And so you're not valuing your own musical potential. You're not valuing musical skill, right? I know this from experience because back in 2018, that was the year that I had that first massive unlock when I realized that, whoa, I can practice the skills and the ingredients that actually compose songs, and I can become my own creative element on the piano and on the keyboard. And so I dedicated myself to practicing the piano that year, 2018. And so I spent literally hours and hours practicing the piano, like 4 hours a day. But I was just learning through YouTube tutorials, and I literally spent literally 4 hours every day practicing, but I made like no progress that year. And it was because I just spent my time practicing like random disconnected exercises that I was learning through YouTube. And I literally made no progress. And then I got to the end of the year and I kind of did like a budget. I looked at my finances and I realized, oh my God, I've been spending literally thousands of dollars on alcohol, but $0 on my own piano education. Something was wrong with that, right? And so I realized I just wasn't valuing my own musical education high enough. And so that's when I'm like, you know what, my future self deserves me spending the money today to actually practice and to actually learn the right things to practice and to invest in myself. And so I signed up for piano lessons from a local teacher who actually knew what he was doing, who could see where I was going wrong, and who could tell me exactly what I needed to practice to get the results that I was looking for, okay? So definitely think about this, like how much do you actually value unlocking the keyboard and being able to express yourself on the piano and compose your own songs and produce epic music, right? Like, do you want to have skills where you can just sit there and I don't know, I was just like vibing out just now, but do you want to have the ability to do that? I know I do. Like nowadays I will throw so much money for learning the piano because I value my own piano and musical education that high. So high that I actually went back to university to study a whole music degree because I value it that highly. And so yeah, so definitely like look around for a local piano teacher who can actually teach you, or sign up for coaching or mentorship or training, or literally sign up for UtK Keyboard Pro if you're interested in that full system. It's honestly such a good deal, I think. I mean, I'm obviously like I'm a little bit biased because, you know, it's my system, but it's like $39 a month, whereas I paid like $50 a week for my piano teacher. And so yeah, you're getting that for an entire month. So I think it's a great deal, but I'll leave that up to you to decide whether or not you want to invest in yourself in that way, because that's what it is. You're actually investing in yourself. And the other thing with that is that you're invested, so that you're more willing to actually put in the effort to practice the material and get better and make solid improvements in your lifestyle so that you can actually get good at music, right? Because that's what I want for you. That's what I want for myself, right? Yeah, so those are the two areas where you might be going wrong, and that's how to actually kind of solve those problems. I really hope that this video was helpful. Again, the link to UtK Keyboard Pro is below if you're interested in that. Otherwise, you can just subscribe to this channel. I'm doing a lot of teaching here as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.